What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to this Forgo. And originally, I was going to do a follow-up video for the tier list that you guys voted on. And I just want to give a big shout out to all you players out there because near 200 people of you have voted on that so far, which is actually pretty damn amazing. Quite the turnout. But I actually discovered something last night whenever I was playing in Guild Raid, as we'll talk about. So I went ahead and decided to buy this little pack in here for these card sets, right? I went ahead and picked up these card sets that actually do, decrease attack cooldowns and decrease your ultimate move cooldowns as well, which is actually cool, right? Decrease your base cooldown of your ultimate moves and decrease your attack cooldowns by 2.3 seconds, which really does help whenever you're running through your rotations on your characters. But as I will show you guys in a little bit, even with this increased power charge rate by 50%, right? Other team members obtain 20% power when tagging out. You actually don't even need this, at least for what we're going to do today. Now, maybe for some other game modes, maybe it would be, maybe for a different team composition, maybe it would be. But what I'm going to show you today, guys, this card set doesn't really benefit you at all, as I will show you. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to come into Guild Raid, right? And we're going to do a run with my man, Rugal. I know you guys maybe get a little tired of Rugal, but he's my biggest damage dealer, so that's what we're going to show. And this is the team composition that I'm going to be using. Now, I'm going to use Athena's leadership, right? Of course, for the 100% attack from her second skill, the chill and shock. We're going to use Rugal for our damage dealer, and we're going to use Leona for the weaken. And on Leona, I have this tag cooldown set up on her, okay? I have the tag cooldown set on her. And for Rugal, I want you to notice that I do have this Cosmic card that does increase attack type fighter critical damage by 7.5%. Plus, we get the extra critical damage by 15%, the extra attack by 4%, and critical rate by 4%. And in the past, other than the Lady Choi card, this is a godly card for my man Rugal. But you guys are going to see something pretty gnarly and pretty wild concerning these runs. So I'll bring up the first run for you guys, where we're actually going to be playing with the run where Leona has the set from the shop that she actually buy, right? And Rugal's got that Cosmic card on him, okay? And what I want you to pay attention to is the tag cooldown times, okay? So here's Leona. She's building up her PG, right? She got that 50% PG gain, right? She does her 3 PG. We're doing the 3 PG so that way we can use weaken immediately afterwards, right? We'll do the 1-2, right? We'll hit the weaken. We'll bring in Athena, apply our chill and shock and our 100% attack. And then we're going to start using Rugal, okay? And I'm not going to play the whole entire run, otherwise this video would be an eternity, okay? But what I want you guys to pay attention to is the next rotation. Look at Rugal's tag cooldown times whenever we're getting ready to bring him back in and see what happens because of it, okay? And I've talked about this before. When it comes to playing Guild Raid, your timing is everything, right? Whenever you get in a nice, solid set rotation, you're going to be able to do more damage. The moment that you break that meter on these opponents, that's the moment you want to have your damage dealer in there. That's when you want to bring them in there, and you'll actually end up doing more damage. Now, I want you to notice something right here. So I want to back up a little bit, okay? Now look at the tag cooldown on Rugal. It's actually at 3 seconds whenever I bring Athena in there, right? Now I'm going to bring Athena in, and I'm going to bring in Leona. We still got 2 seconds left, right? And our darkness has been applied. Okay, and this is kind of what happens a lot of times, that darkness gets applied. And for a character like Rugal, that really isn't the greatest thing because his heal is on a 30-second cooldown, right? So we're actually bringing him in a little bit later than what we really want to. We want to bring him in there a little bit earlier, right? Now I'm using that set on Leona because, the feedback that I got was if we use it on Leona, that's going to decrease her tag cooldowns, and we're going to easily have her ready to go every single time we use her. However, what I'm going to show you guys is that's not actually necessarily true. Actually, whenever you put a tag cooldown card or setup on Rugal or your damage dealer, at least in this team composition, it's actually when you're going to do the most damage, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pause it, and I'm going to go all the way to the end. You guys can see how much damage we actually did. So we did 161 billion damage, almost 162 billion damage in this particular run. Okay, well, in this next run that I'm going to show you guys, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take off this set, okay, and we're going to put on the Serena set, okay? And the Serena set is actually really awesome. And I've talked about this set multiple times. Completely free to play set that's always available in the game. This set actually increases your PG gain also, right? 10% power when tagging in. Now, granted, it's not 50% power, and you're not giving your other opponents 20% power. But for Guild Raid, you'll actually find that this is going to be enough, especially for a character like Leona, who already has 30% PG gain in her core, okay? And so what you'll find is this is actually going to be good enough. You don't need the decreased tag cooldown. You don't need it. But for Rugal, you actually do. But you don't want to put that set on Rugal. Why would you want to put that set on Rugal from the shop? You're going to lose a lot of damage compared to the Athena set, compared to the Rugal set, you're just going to lose a lot of damage if you do that. So it's like, man, what can we do? What can we do? Well, what we can do is we can actually get rid of this option card. And we can go to another card that's actually quite special that's always available in the game, at least if I can find the damn thing. All right, we got to scroll down here. This one right here, guys. This card, now we lost a lot of CP. We lost 31,000 CP. But this card actually decreases tag cooldowns by 1.9% for Rugal himself. And we do get the critical rate. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, like Forgo, you just lost 7.5% critical damage from the Transcendent stat on that Cosmic card. You lost 15% more critical damage, which is 22% critical damage in total. You lost the extra attack. You lost the extra critical rate, which was by 4%. That's a lot. Aren't you going to do less damage having this card on him? Well, what you'll find, guys, is because I'll be able to bring in Rugal even earlier, we're actually going to do more damage over time throughout this entire run. And this is a free-to-play card. Now, I'm not saying this is always going to work for every single team composition, but depending on how long your 3PG is for your main damage dealer, and I can tell you definitely for Rugal, this is definitely going to be better, at least as far as this team composition, at least as far as against Nightmare Geese, this is actually better. And this is actually a much more free-to-play set where you don't have to spend rubies on any of those sets in the shop. So I'll pull up the run for you guys right now, and you can check this out, all right? So right now, we have the Serena set on Leona. We have the tag cooldown card, the Nina card, on Rugal. And what I want you to pay attention to is when I'm able to bring Rugal in. Immediately after I use Leona, we're going to be able to bring in Rugal. And we don't even need the set that builds up PG, because as you guys can see, the Serena set is still building up enough PG to be able to do Leona's 3PG automatically. And you only need to do her 3PG one time in the very beginning, so that way you have the weekend ready. That's it. You don't need that PG gain. And some people think you need the tag cooldown, but actually you don't need it. You'll actually find that with the Serena set, you'll actually be just fine because the timing of her 3PG works out perfectly, right? The length of 3PGs that matter here are Athena's and Rugal's, right? Those are what's really matters, or Athena's, and then your main damage dealer if you're using a different character other than Rugal. Maybe say, for example, Nakaruru or Haramaru, right? So watch what happens here. We're using Athena's 3PG. We're gonna hit the Sega Skill Applied Shell. We use Leona. And then boom, look at that. Did you see how fast I could bring in Rugal? There was no 2 seconds, 3 seconds on Rugal's tag cooldown because we've actually lowered it by 1.9 seconds from the Nina card. And even though we don't have the Cosmi card on Rugal right now, even though we don't have it on him, we're actually going to be able to do more damage throughout this entire 2-minute run because we're going to do more damage over time. You will find that because you can bring him in and you get this nice set rotation where you're bringing in Rugal or your main damage dealer immediately after you apply the buffs from Leona, because remember, one of her increased target damage received from her first skill only lasts for 5 seconds. So you're actually getting a little bit of that as well the faster that you can bring in your main damage dealer, which in my case is my man Rugal. And you will do more damage because of it. And the beautiful thing about this video is the fact that I'm actually showing you guys that the free-to-play way actually does just as good, actually does better than going the paywall route as far as buying that, card set from the shop. I'm not saying that card set isn't useless. I'm saying in this game mode, in this particular game mode right here, it is not a need. You don't need it at all. You can easily use the Serena set. Easily. Now, the shop set does decrease ultimate move cooldown, but actually there is a cooldown card, or there's a card, an option card that actually does the same thing that actually lowers the cooldown card or lowers the cooldown of an ultimate move, just like we have the Nina card that lowers the cooldown of tag cooldowns. Right? There's a free-to-play card that actually does that, which I can show you guys. But look at this. You're just getting this beautiful, beautiful rotation where you're just, I'm bringing in my damage dealer immediately after Leona. So, like, we'll apply our chill here. We bring in Leona. And boom. Now, I kind of screwed up there. I should have hit my third skill first. I'd done more hits, and I would have broke that meter, and I wouldn't apply that darkness when it got applied, right? That was my bad there, right? Right? That's skill issue right there, okay? But, I mean, the damage is just crazy, right? We'll go all the way to the end, guys, okay? And you can see just how well we did. Look at that, 181 billion. We did almost 20 billion more with the exact same set cards on my main damage dealer, right? I didn't change the cards on Athena. I didn't change the cards on Rugal. I put the free-to-play version Serena set on Leona, and I put that tag cooldown on Rugal. Even though he doesn't have the Cosmic card, we still did 20 billion more damage. So this is proof and this is evidence, guys, that that card set, at least for guild rate, isn't needed at all. You don't need that damn thing at all. And as far as the option card that decreases the ultimate move cooldowns, if I can find it really quick, guys, it's this one right here. This one actually decreases base cooldowns of ultimate moves by 2.1 seconds, right? That set that's in the shop does the same thing, and it decreases attack cooldowns. Oh, there's a reset, and it decreases attack cooldowns, but you can get a free-to-play option card that can do the same thing, right? We're only getting 1.9 or 1.7% critical rate from that option card, but yet we could do more damage over time because I could bring in my main damage dealer immediately after we apply the buffs from Leona. So I thought this was a really cool video to show you guys, to show you that, the free-to-play way, you can actually do even better. I was actually shocked that that damn tag cooldown card actually allowed me to do more damage than using a transcended Cosmic card. I mean, if I transcended that tag cooldown card, at least for Geese here, right, because of the darkness, playing with Rugal, I could do even more damage, guys. I could probably hit 200 billion with him, because believe me, whenever you transcend a card, even a 5-star card, and you get that extra 7.5% critical damage or you get an extra critical rate, it does make a big, big difference. So I would definitely be on the fence, my friends, as far as, purchasing this set. I would be on the fence big time for it. I mean, for Time Attack, it's going to be really OP, but Time Attack, in all honesty, guys, because of some of the characters that we have, really isn't that difficult. In all honesty, I don't really think this is really a need for it. Maybe there'll be, something else that will be really nice to have this set. Maybe, Tower of Trials, maybe Demo Space, but they actually decrease the PG rate gain in Demo Space, so maybe it won't be that great there. But I went ahead and queued it up. I wanted to test it out for you guys and show you that, yeah, I mean, the Serena set, in all honesty, actually will do just as much for you. In fact, if you have a Serena set with that cooldown card that I showed you with Chris on it that decreases the ultimate move cooldowns, and then with the Nina card on it, you're actually going to get the same thing. You won't have the exact PG gain. You're not going to give 20% PG more gain to your other team members. But as you guys just saw, for guild rate, it doesn't look like you really even need it, but that may depend on the characters that you're actually using. So guys, let me know what you think about this little tidbit of information that I'm throwing out at you today. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GD+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.